Hi, faithful friends. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and stopping in to say hi. Today's video is a vlog video where we go to a couple thrift stores. One is a Goodwill and one, I don't remember the name, but it's in the video. I'll show you some clips from that particular store. And then I had a speaking engagement. So, a little fun fact, you may not know that I am also a reverend and I do preaching engagements. I do speaking engagements at churches. And so this time it was on Mother's Day and I got to talk about the Mother of Nations, Sarah. So that was a really fun time. We had a great weekend. It ended in a not so great way, and you'll see the video at the end, and I'll kind of fill in some more details at the end of the video. But until then, I want you to just enjoy the shopping trip and a little clip from, some pictures from my, the church that I visited, and I'll see you back at the end to explain what happened. Yesterday. And this delay, though, it causes us to get a little bit antsy, doesn't it? Do you get a little antsy when you're like waiting on the Lord and I know he said he's going to do it, and you check the mail for the check and you're like, where's this at? Where's what's promised to me? And so we get antsy. But this delay causes us, to just kind of get kind of worried, get kind of consumed. And it kind of feels like maybe we're a little bit stagnant. It's this weird, stagnant place, and it's a challenging part of life, and it's kind of nestled right there in between promise that God gave us and the fulfillment of the promise, and there's life. And that's the hard part, isn't it? It's, okay, we got the promise, and that's exciting, and then reality sets in, but here's fulfillment, and there's no sign of that being true. And so that's an uncertain place to be in, isn't it? It's really uncertain. It kind of makes us feel a little crazy, a little antsy. You know, the time between promise and fulfillment can actually cause us or lead us to do some crazy things, right? We can make some crazy decisions in that period of time. And that's exactly what Sarah did. That's what happened to Sarah. When her age started creeping up, she was already 65, right? And now she's 75. And you never had a child, and you're promised that you're going to have a child, and you know what you're thinking. Like, you're thinking just like Sarah did. It's like, this is crazy. But what happened to her is she became emotional. You know, and when she got emotional, that's when she started taking things into her own hands. You know, this waiting season, it really got to her. She's like, okay, I cannot do this. I'm a doer. I don't just sit around. I got to be doing something. And her faith was challenged at this point. She was uncomfortable with what she was facing. Understandably so, right? And what she did was she began to try and force the promise to come true. Oh, how many times have we done that? Wow, we try to force it. Well, God said it, so I should just go and do it and make it happen, right? So waiting on a promise from God, it places us in this weird position between reality and promise. We have to face reality. What's real is real, right? But then there's a spiritual element of the promise that we can't, is not tangible. And so we're in this weird position between reality and promise, and we find ourselves wanting to face reality based on our situation, maybe on scientific facts, or maybe even just our past experiences, while having the promise of something that just is not tangible. Man, how do you do that? When you're faced with doctors, but this is what God said. When you're faced with the facts that you're in bankruptcy and your finances are a huge mess, how do you make money? How do you become wealthy? Like the Bible says. How do you make this happen when you're faced with reality that this situation will never change? I will never get out of this bad relationship, but God's saying I'll make you the head and not the tail. How do you do that? So waiting on the promise from God, it puts us there. So what did you all think about that thrift store? It was like a thrift store with, you know, yard sale prices, which I am happy about when I find those types of stores. And they had some great things there. I did get a few items. I'm going to share that in another video. I'm going to do one big video thrift, you know, for thrift hauls from the last month. I have quite a few really awesome things to share in that video. But did you see the picture of the truck? We're sitting on the highway. So our truck broke down. On the way up, we were in Easton, PA. So on the way to Easton, and it's about a 2.5-hour drive, halfway there, our truck started making, you know, a really bad vibrating. And the next thing, you know, my husband had it checked while we were there. He took it to a garage and they checked a few quick things. They couldn't really find anything. So, you know, the next day was Mother's Day. I went to church and I preached. And then on our way home, barely on the highway, even 5 minutes, and the truck just, you know, parts just kind of started flying out the back of the truck. Not a good thing on a highway. So my husband, you know, he pulled over to off to the side onto the berm. Thankfully, my daughter and her husband came up to visit with us. They came up on Sunday morning to support me. You know, it was Mother's Day, so they came and supported me and listened to my sermon. So they were with us on the way home. They were following us. So they were there to help us and get us home and, help us find a tow truck. And it all worked out. My husband was able to get the truck home safely the next day. He was just rode back up Monday and got the truck home safely. It's still in the garage. It's not fixed yet. I haven't heard yet exactly what is going on with it, but something with, anyway, I don't know. But it's getting fixed and all is good. We're safe. We're home, safe and sound. There were some really amazing parts of the weekend, and then that was just kind of a damper, but I didn't let it, kind of ruin everything because, that was just one moment out of the day. And so while we took the truck and parked it somewhere safe, we were actually in Allentown at that point. We went to this awesome little restaurant, delicious food, the best burgers. So we ended up, kind of turning it around, and at least I'm thankful for family that can help us. And we reached out to some family members to help us get it towed the rest of the way home. Because my goodness, it's really expensive to tow a truck. We took it, not even, oh man, not even, I don't even know the mileage, not very far. It was like 10 minutes from where we were on the highway to relatives in front of their yard, or in front of their house on their street. They allowed us to park there. And it was like $250 to tow. So we did have insurance, and so it does reimburse us for that part. But then my husband went up with a tow truck and brought the truck, towed it the rest of the way home. And that was a whole different story there, getting that organized and squared away. But yeah, we're home, we're safe. It was a beautiful weekend. And stay tuned because my next video will be actually my next two videos will be planned. I'm planning them and I'm excited about them. So one will be the thrift haul from that shopping trip, but also from several other shopping trips that I've gone on, and some yard sale finds. Some really great items. I can't wait to show you. And I got my front porch and my back deck all decorated for summer. It's nice and squeaky clean, and I want to get some pictures and some footage to share with you on that, before it gets all dirty again with pollen. So lots of plans coming up. Thank you so much for joining me and just supporting my channel. Maybe you would give me a thumbs up, and definitely subscribe if you like, if you want to see some craziness, then definitely you want to subscribe. But anyway, I thank you for your support, and I want you to know that you are blessed and highly favored.